Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. It's Freely. So today we're going to be talking about this folding phone right here, the Galaxy Z Flip 3. I've had this phone for many months now. Back in September, I've already had it. So I just want to tell you guys my experience with this phone. If you ever want to get one of these phones, you know, some first-hand experience here. So let's get right into it. So what is it like owning a phone like this? Honestly, it's just like any other phone out there, except that it can fold. Obviously, this is the main draw of this phone, but unlike other phones like the latest iPhone or the latest Galaxy, is that you have this extra factor of being able to fold. So when people see it, they're like, oh, whoa, can I take a look at it? And then they look at it, and then I've seen this many times already where they're like looking at it and watching it fold. And they do that several times. It's actually pretty funny, but it's understandable because I feel like in the last 5 or 6 or 7 years now, people are getting tired of the same old phone. Pretty much all that's changing is like the specs on the inside, maybe the camera, and just a few extra minute and small details that are kind of just repackaged in a nicer way and sold for what seems like a more increasing price, especially nowadays. So there is a cool factor when you get this phone, and for most people, when they notice this screen up in front, which I'll be talking about later on in this video, it's a dead giveaway that you have the folding phone, but they also have the fold, which is more like a book style. It's like a mini tablet that you can fold. I'm gonna go into my first point, start off with the pros of this phone. First off, one of the pros is the strong hinge. To have a phone that can fold, you need to have a strong hinge, and I forget the numbers, but Samsung has rated this hinge for like a couple thousand folds. Like I'm not sure, I have to look it up after this, but you shouldn't be worried about this hinge because it's very strong. So if you look here, I can move it to all kinds of degrees. I don't know, I wasn't good at math, but look at this, and it's pretty strong unless you like really want to like close it like that, which I don't recommend doing. I don't recommend like flipping it like that. That's just bad. And the same thing, you know, kind of like smashing it, because you are smashing two screens against each other. Whenever I do close this, it's just like a nice little. But yeah, super strong hinge, no issues with it yet. Moving on to the next point is that this screen is narrow and it fits pretty comfortably in hand. It's a 22:9 aspect ratio on this screen, so when you're holding it like this or watching a video just like this, it can be a little bit weird because you have black bars on the side, but you can like zoom in and it'll fill the entire screen, but you're cutting off a little bit of the video there. But overall, it's really comfortable in my hand. I don't have the biggest hands. Getting into the top corners of the phone, I do have to readjust my grip on the phone, but it's not that big of an issue for me. The button placement on this phone, you have the volume rocker on the right side of the phone, along with the home button and the fingerprint scanner right there, kind of where your thumb would be. Honestly, this is a really good place for it to be, because as soon as I take the phone out of my pocket, my thumb is right there. Boom, unlocks the phone. So when you have your phone oriented like this, you know, volume up is up, but when you have the phone folded, now the volume would be upside down, right? But when it's closed, they have the volume rocker pretty much flipped, so now the down is up and up is down. I hope that makes sense. So this phone also has a 120 Hz refresh rate, and using this phone when it's like that is just buttery smooth. It does drain battery though, so that's the only downside, but I like, you know, quality over quantity. Audio from this phone is great. Watching videos on YouTube has been really good because it shoots the audio out of the bottom and out at the top, so you kind of get a mini surround sound experience when you're using this phone. So a lot of people talk about the crease on the phone, and honestly, I don't notice it when I'm using the phone regularly, like, you know, just scrolling through Instagram or whatnot. Now, it does become noticeable sometimes when you're watching a video on YouTube at a certain angle of light. There is a certain angle where you can slightly see the crease going down the middle. As soon as you like get used to it, which you'll be getting used to it pretty quickly, at least I did, you just don't notice it. And I don't know, for whatever reason, people like complain about this, but I'm like, hey, the fact that this thing can't even fold in the first place, you guys need to be grateful for that. So the crease, not a big deal for me. This phone also comes with a screen protector that's, you know, installed by Samsung in the factory. So if you ever end up getting this phone, don't take off that screen protector because it's literally there for a reason, to protect your screen. With that said though, it does make this screen a little bit more soft. So if you do have this phone in your pocket, I would suggest either folding it closed, so to protect the screen, but to not put like keys or any other sharp objects in your pocket along with it, because it will scratch the screen. The screen is a lot more, I don't know, it's just soft because of that screen protector. I know that's what it's there for, but once you do have it, you know, scratched, you're gonna notice it. So the camera is actually really good. Like when I first got this, because I upgraded from a Galaxy S9 up to the Z Flip 3, and for what I saw from reviews, they said that the Z Flip 3 is basically a foldable S21. So I basically upgraded from an S9 to an S21, but this one can fold. But the camera is going to be the same exact camera on the S21. Honestly, in my opinion, this is a really good camera. It has a regular focal length camera, but it also has a wide angle, and I tend to use the wide angle a lot more just because you can just catch more in the frame. Now video is really good too. The only place where the video and the photos really fail for this camera is when it's in low light settings. Obviously a lot of these smartphone cameras just don't do well in low light settings because of the small sensor. So if you're taking photos or videos, you know, it'll be best if you have more light. But what's really great about this too is that you can shoot 4K 60, which not even the Canon 50 can do, which is pretty insane. But it's a very clear picture, and I love shooting in 4K, although it takes up a lot of space. So yeah, the camera really good. Kind of fails in the low light. But what's really cool is that when you have the phone, it kind of has this built-in tripod. I know you've seen the advertisements just like this. It really is a helpful feature. I've taken time lapses with this, I've taken videos with this, I've taken photos with this, and it's honestly a really helpful feature. If you're shooting with the rear camera, you can change the aspect ratio to 16:9 and pretty much have it like a regular camera, so you can like record stuff like this, which is really cool. And the lighting here looks really good. Let me take a picture. The lighting is just really good. But yeah, it's really cool because look, when you fold it out, right, just like this, it kind of like splits the screen and puts what your viewfinder here and then all your settings in this bottom one, which is really cool. I really like it. Like I said, tripod, built-in tripod, that's just so cool. Along with being like a built-in tripod, another like useful thing that you can do is like have your flashlight. And I even did this like a couple weeks ago. It was really dark and I needed a flashlight, so I kind of propped my flashlight on my phone just like this, and look at that. I have an actual useful flashlight instead of like, you know, having it like this and kind of like trying to prop it up somewhere. Having it this way, I can like angle it down, I can angle it up or whatever. Super handy, and it's a feature that not many people talk about. Of course, you want to know what this phone is like when it's folded. So honestly, I don't really have my phone in this particular form factor a lot. That might be surprising, but if I know I'm gonna be opening my phone a lot, then I kind of just leave it open like a regular phone. When you do have it though, it kind of just looks like a small square in your pocket. It looks like a wallet in some cases. So just like kind of pulling it out too, you're like, oh, where's your phone? Oh yeah, this is it. When you have it in this form factor, you can do a couple things. So first off, you can check your notifications by double tapping, and you can just check out, you know, what you have. And it has options for different widgets on this screen. So I personally have like 2 widgets on there, which is basically music and my alarm. And you can add more widgets on top of here, like weather, calendar, the timer, but I only keep the ones that I use every single day. It's really cool. This main one where it shows the time and date, it's customizable, but if you swipe to the right, you get all your notifications here. You get a very brief like cutout of what the notification actually says, but if you want to go into it, you tap it, you can read a little bit more, but then at the very end of it, you can open the app or clear it. When you click open the app, you know, you have to open your phone at the same time too. But this is a really cool, you know, form factor to have it in, especially when you're doing work. For me, productivity wise, when I don't want any notifications, it's easy to like just have this on the desk, and you know, if a notification pops up, double tap it here and then just swipe, look at what it is, and if it's not important, just don't, you know, respond to it. What's also really cool about this is that if you double tap the power button here on the side, this turns into a camera. Because the cameras are now in the front, you're basically having the rear camera quality. So you can take photos and videos in this mode. So I'm gonna take a photo right now. And then if you swipe to the right or swipe left, you can do video too. Just tap it. So now I'm recording a video with this really small screen. So it's really cool. And if you swipe up, you can get the regular one, you get the wide angle one, and then you just want to turn it off, hit the power button. This is one of the cooler features I like on this phone, is that you can still take photos and videos even when it's folded just like this. In one instance, you can probably vlog with this. So I've done it a couple times. I haven't posted anything about it, but you know, having it like this, and then pretty much vlogging like this. Well, the only thing is, you know, audio will be pretty bad depending on what situation you're in. But this is a really cool option, and maybe I'll make a video talking about this if you guys want. Just let me know in the comments below. If you're getting any value from this video, smash that like button. It really helps this channel. It tells more people that they should watch this video too. So now I'm gonna go into cons. Now these cons are, although it's a small list, can be very, what's the word where it's like very, changes the entire time. Deal breaker, that's what it's called. It could be a deal breaker for some people. But the first thing is the battery life on this is not that good. It's a relatively small battery. I'll have it up on screen right now, but it doesn't even last me the entire day with this battery. So to give you guys some context, I can't go an entire day without charging. I probably charge it like 3-4 times a day, depending on how much I'm using it. If I'm constantly using it, I'm charging it more. The second thing is a big con for me, but it's like a no headphone jack. For my family at least, we don't have a lot of cars that have Bluetooth in it. We have like 2 of them, and even with the Bluetooth, it's a very finicky Bluetooth. It doesn't really work that well. So I'm kind of just relying on the aux cord for now. That's what works, you know, you just plug it in to your phone and it works. This phone does not have that, so it's a little bit of a minor annoyance for me, at least whenever I want to listen to music in the car. I have to buy that adapter that plugs into the charging port and then plug the aux cord into that. It's just like one extra step, and if I had a choice, I would still put those aux cables on these phones because you never know when you might need it. And you know, Bluetooth can be finicky sometimes, especially in some vehicles. Like, takes so long to set them up, and you can't set them up if you're driving, even though you're the passenger in the car. It's like the really small things like that just kind of like irk me about Bluetooth and whatever. And the last but not least is two-hand use. So like, I can't open this with one hand, maybe kind of like that, but I have to kind of use my body to do that. But most of the time, like I said, I don't like open my phone like that, like kind of like flip it like how you used to do with those old phones. To do it safely, you kind of have to do it like that. So a lot of the times I found myself using this phone with 2 hands, whether it's like typing something, which is kind of normal. When you fold with one hand, you kind of risk dropping this because you kind of are like doing that thing, and it just brings more risk when you do it that way. A for sure way that you won't drop this is if you just have it in one hand and just like that, you won't drop it at all. So I found myself using 2 hands with this phone a lot. So maybe for some people don't like that or just can't do that, but from my experience, that's just what I noticed. It's crazy to say in 2022 we have a smartphone that folds. That still blows my mind. But in comparison to the previous generations of this phone, this is the first actual usable version of it. They just kind of ironed out a lot of cons from the older generations. If you guys have more questions about this phone, definitely leave them in the comments. So are you guys gonna get one? Do you already have them? What's your experience with one? Leave it all down in the comment section below. Sorry, the uploads have been kind of scarce lately. I've just been super busy. I've been on a vacation, and yeah, just lots of things happening. If you guys are subscribed, you notice I've been posting the Airbnb vlog on this channel, and honestly, that's what's taking up a lot of my time, because just trying to get that all set up. I have videos coming. This is my first video on the grind, making videos again. So thank you guys so much for watching and sticking around, and I'll see you guys in the next one.